Logan from A Mammoth Task, and I'm gonna break down and show you how to play Sell My Shit from A Mammoth Task. This is a short punk song that I think has a lot that's kind of unorthodox about it. I want to show you how to play it, but also kind of get our hands dirty and talk some music theory. Maybe we could even start some fights in the comments about what key it's in. Well, with that out of the way, let's get to it. Alright, let's start at the beginning, and in classic Mammoth Task fashion, this song starts with a stupid lick that lasts for half a second. So, that half a second sounds like this. Alright, what's going on there? Really, that's just a B pentatonic with some funky notes thrown in there. So if we're starting here on this E on the G string, so if you're just doing a B pentatonic, that's what that would be. And we're kind of doing this pattern on the way down that adds in funky notes that all happen to land on the 8th fret. So that goes like, slowed down, that goes like this. Again. So these two notes are in that B pentatonic. Funky note, go up one note, do the same pattern. Funky note again, up one note, and then this C down to B. And that's the lick. Alright, so where that lick ends on that B is the one of the verse. So the verse has officially started at that point. Let me show you what that sounds like, and then we'll take it apart from there. Alright, so before I even show you how to play it or talk about what the notes are or any of that stuff, let's talk about the rhythm for a second. This is in 6, but the guitar and bass are really emphasizing like an even 4 count over that. We're not strictly playing 4 even notes, but that's heavily emphasized. So the way I want you to think about it is drums are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're doing doosh, 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 doosh. So really try to like dig into that and like make it known we're doing a polyrhythm here when you're playing this. The way the verse starts out is with some basic guitar player stuff, just bar chords. So a B bar chord, an A bar chord. Then we have an inverted D. So that sounds like this. The way I'm playing that is 5th fret on the E and the A, and then 4th fret on the D string. So, and the way we're playing that is together. That inversion isn't something you see all guitar players do, and I don't know why, because I think that sounds sick as fuck. So an easy way to beef up your chords is just to put the 5th right underneath it. So D is the root here, and A underneath it is the 5th. Might sound a little flimsy with just guitar, but with bass playing the root note underneath that, that's an easy way to really beef up your chords and make it sound like you're heavier than you actually are. So that's why we're playing it that way. Also, it just sounds smoother than like sliding up there this way. The notes aren't really moving that far away from each other, so I think it's one, beefier, but also smoother. So again, we're gonna kind of go up to D sharp for a second. Why are we doing that? I don't know. Maybe we'll expand on that later. So let's put a pin in that for now. After that, we go to this G7. Technically, the 7th would be this note, not this. So if we're strictly playing in B minor, it would sound like this. Like that's how you get that emo sound. We don't want that. We want bluesy. So we're gonna drop that down one note, and this is the blue note. That's the blue note of B minor. So that's why we're using it on top of this G. I think that sounds really good over the G there. So we're gonna play that chord twice, play a lick after that. Pretty easy. Some chromaticism there. Then a chromatic line over an F sharp. So and that is just outlining some important notes for like a dominant F sharp that sounds like it wants to go back up to B. So that first half just goes like some kind of syncopated rhythm. Might be a little difficult at first, but not that hard to play really. So when we come back to the second half of that verse, a lot of it is gonna stay the same. So we're gonna start on that B, A, D thing. The ending is a little different there. So instead of doing, here we're doing 4 even space notes. So the first note is D, and then 3 D sharps. Then we have another weird chord here. So that weird chord is going to be a G sharp, and we have a lick over that. So the way I'm playing is, none of these notes are really in the key, but I think about it like we're quickly changing keys to a D sharp here, and then this is in the key of D sharp. So we're kind of changing keys for a second, and the reason I think it works is because the next chord is that G7, which works in both keys and kind of like acts as a bridge. So we're doing, then we're playing that G7, but just a little different rhythm. Then a slightly different lick over the F sharp again. And then we land back on B. So again, kind of oddly syncopated, but not too difficult. So we play that whole thing twice, and then we do one tail end of that verse. So it's just a very short and sweet kind of version of it that adds the hook of the song at the very end. So that goes like this. And that's it. We're starting off the same way, but instead of playing, we're doing one of all of those notes. So then we have this inverted E7. I'm playing it with my on the 4th fret on the E, and then 7th on the A. And then this is our hook of the song. So we're starting it on that G7, and this is where the melody's coming in. So we're just doing, and then over that G, and then this goes down one note. We're gonna play the A and the open D. So another inverted D chord. This is pretty muddy, but this is technically resolved. Like, all of those notes are in D. It does sound kind of muddy with this, the 3rd in the bass like that, but it kind of sounds like we came home, but there's more work to do. So that's kind of why I like that voicing there. So again, slowed down. And that brings us into our lead section. If you can play Smoke on the Water, you can play this lead section. There's some chromatic weirdness happening and some kind of staccato playing, or as Ray Parker Jr. would say, Gestapo playing, if that helps, if you want to think about it that way. But let's break down the first part. So Not that crazy. We have a chromatic line between the D and the E, so then we're gonna outline, or we're gonna hit the B, outline an A chord, then E and D. Then chromatic line starting from the G. And then we're gonna hold this D and outline a chord on top of it. Then we just come back around. So that's different. Instead of doing E and D again, we're doing this, we're starting with the G and going down. Then we have a weird lick right after that. So I'm starting that on the 11th fret on the D string, the B string. So go down one note. On the G, go back to the 11, go up one note, and then hit the octave on the B, and then we're gonna outline a diminished after that. So on the G string, you're hitting the 10, octave on the B, and then the 13 on the G again. So that might be a little tricky if you're not used to playing with your pinky like that. And then we have a weird syncopated rhythm. That rhythm kind of goes like da 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 ba da 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 ba. So we're gonna start that on this G and A crazy chord, and lick from earlier. We're just playing it an octave up. Earlier we went here. We're playing. Then hit that again. And we're doing that same shape up here starting on the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16th fret. Then our intro lick. So all together goes like this. I fucked it up at the end, but now we're back to the verse. Here, we're going to do a shortened version of the verse. All of this is going to stay the same. Then here, we're going to do a spin-off of that lick from earlier, that staccato thing. We're just playing it starting on the G7, so... play that G7, same lick from earlier, then that's a little different. We're doing the same pattern, just we're going up strings. Then we're doing the intro lick, but we're starting it here. And then we land back on that 7 here, on that G7. So... then we're going to come back around and do a slightly different version of that. So what's going on there? We're starting off the same. We're not going back to that G7. We're going straight into that lick, but up a string. Then some crazy chords, but this is the same, it's the same shape, just moving up the neck. So second fret on the D string, and then third on the G and the D, and then you're gonna move that up here. So with your pointer finger on the 5th fret, go up one, and then you're ending back on that G and A. So all together, that second part of the staccato part goes like... So now we're at the last section of the song, and really this is just going to play that hook from earlier over and over and over again, and sprinkle in bites from earlier in the song to kind of tie everything together. So we're going to, if you remember that hook, we're going to start each phrase with that. So then we have a lick right after that. I'm playing that here, so starting on the 2nd fret on the D, pull off, go up to the 5th, and then just go back down to D. Then we have a lick that I stole from a Rick Beato video on Instagram. So that's just like groupings of 3 doing this like hammer on to the 5th thing. So you're gonna bar it, starting on the A, bar and hammer on up to the 5th. Then do the same thing on the B. So back to our hook. And then we're gonna play an ugly chord. That's just an F sharp with a G right next to it. Then the Rick Beato lick again. Cut it short, and then we're going to sprinkle in a part from our lead line. So then back to the hook, and we're going to play some chords right after that. So that'll sound like this. All of those chords are really kind of the same shape, just moving it up and down the neck. So they're all 7 chords. I'm only playing the A string, the G and the B. Yeah, so that's what you're gonna play to play that B chord. Go up to E7, same exact shape. Go down to D7, slightly different shape, and then go up to A sharp 7. So one more time, and then we're gonna finish it off with a variation on the intro lick. So the intro lick, again, we're just taking that but moving it down here now, and it's gonna be faster. So we're gonna play it as triplets. It's gonna sound like this. Ending it a little differently, we're gonna land on this on the 3rd fret on the G. So all together, that goes like. Then we're gonna hit the tail end of the verses, so that G7 to F sharp thing that we were doing. It's gonna be mostly the same, but we're changing the last 2 notes. So instead of doing, what we're gonna do is, and land on this D. And then more specifically, we're gonna play B with the D as the higher note. And then we're just gonna play a short little bite of the verse. So we're just playing it slightly differently and emphasizing the 3rd of those notes. So instead of doing the bar chords that we were doing earlier. So. And then end on that D sharp. So all together, that last section goes like this. So that is Sell My Shit. I hope you have fun learning it, and I also just hope it exposes you and gets you playing in a slightly different way. You know, as guitar players, we have our unique touch, and just the more stuff you learn, the better you're gonna be. So have fun learning it. If you like this, let me know. If you want more and you have an idea of what song to do, let me know. There's a lot of older Mammoth Task stuff that I kind of forgot how to play, so this is a good excuse to go back and relearn some of the old stuff. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll smell you later.